So if you are here to find out what exactly is happening right now with price action of Bitcoin and also what kind of scenario to expect next, then you are definitely at the right place, because in this video, I have prepared some very interesting chart which is pointing us where the price of Bitcoin might be possibly heading and also what kind of scenario we should expect next in the medium short term. Because in the medium short term, we are aware the price of Bitcoin is clearly showing this weakness and the price is also heading it to the downside. But after our video from yesterday, we are actually expecting the price of Bitcoin to show some impulsive movement, even though this here is a clear bearish movement. Why? Because we found out yesterday the price of Bitcoin in a daily time frame. If you look at the CPI indicator, according to the CPI indicator, we are clearly in a VCPR. VCPR means the price of Bitcoin is heading here to the downside without touching any of the CPR line. Why is this so important? Because if you look at each and every price continuation here to the downside, in most of the cases, if the price of Bitcoin has opened below the CPR line, you can see price got gravitated towards a CPR line. Unfortunately, we were not able to find support at the bottom CPR line. Price retracement. Similar scenario unfolded here. Got gravitated towards the CPR area, rejected, and then another price retracement. And now this is also another reason why I'm actually expecting the price of Bitcoin first to show a movement at least towards the CPR line before choosing a trend direction. So that's why even though right now we are forming this rising wedge, which is a bearish scenario with a potential downward price target around this 17 to 18,000. Even though this is a very bearish scenario, I am still expecting the price of Bitcoin to show some consolidation between this range of 19 to 20,000 and then a slow move towards this bottom CPR line. The bottom CPR line in our case is around 21,500 area. So that's why here in the medium short term, if we do manage to stay above this 19,000, consolidate some more around that area, then 21,500, 21,600 could be tested. Because if you look at this price movement here around this area, what we can also do is add another movement here in this manner. Because if you simply look only around this area, this here is a descending broadening wedge, which is considered as a bullish scenario. But most of the time in a downtrend, we have seen descending broad failing plenty of time. Even though we are clearly in a downtrend, this bullish scenario might not mean a lot, but still I wanted to show you guys, if we do come across this resistance here in a medium short term around 19,600, flip it into support, then there is a probability that we are getting gravitated again towards the 20,000, because 20,000 is a key level of resistance which we have to overcome. Because if the price of Bitcoin manages to come across the 20,000 and flip it into support, then you can see, guys, the line which has previously acted as a strong line of support, right? You can see support also acted as a resistance, will be broken, and that will indicate the price of Bitcoin could be starting this movement towards this bottom CPR line around 21,500, 21,600 area. And not just only this, if you say I don't want to look this as a descending broadening wedge, no problem, we can also look at this as falling wedge type of formation. And falling wedge, we are aware, is considered as a bullish scenario. This here, right, this price movement, if we do manage to come across this resistance line, now you can see this resistance line is a very, very important line because it has actually held the price plenty of time. You can see resistance, resistance, resistance. Each and every time the price of Bitcoin has tested the upper line area, we have always found resistance. So now here, if we do manage to overcome this obstacle around this 19,600, then we are also breaking above it. And if we do also break above this 20,000 resistance line, right, around this area, then this is going to be a continuation here to the upper duration. I mean, price breaking above this 19,500, 19,600, flipping in the support, again heading towards the 20,000. And if we do break above the 20,000 and manage to flip into support, then this is going to be looked as a continuation here towards this CPR area. We don't know bottom CPR, central CPR, or even the top CPR line, but this CPI lines are also going to be acting as a resistance between 21,500 to 24,700. So these CPI lines are going to be our potential upward target if the price, right, if the price manages to come across this resistance around 20,000 and flip it into support. What if the price fails to break above this 19,500, 19,600 in the medium short term? In that case, we could be seeing more of a range bound in this manner, and then maybe after some more consolidation, we could be finally breaking here to the upward direction towards this 20,000. Even though this is a clear bearish scenario, I am actually expecting here in a medium short term, let me be very frank, the price of Bitcoin to show more of a range bound and then get gravitated towards this CPI line before choosing a trend direction. And also, the first quarter was very bearish. Second quarter was also very bearish. Third quarter might not be that bearish compared to the first and second quarter. So that's why here in July, August, September, we could see some more range bound, even impulsive movement playing out here in price action of Bitcoin. But I'm not saying that we are going to be actually seeing this reversal or actual trend reversal. No, guys, in a bigger frame, I have been very clear. We are still clearly in a downtrend. But after months and months of retracement, there is a chance that the price of Bitcoin in Q3 could show some bullishness and again continue this rally here to the downward direction. And now, beside these examples, what I also want to include here is double top pattern or Adam Eve. We are aware the price of Bitcoin has indicated this sell signal after getting rejected around this previous temporary support line, because according to this example, you can see a retest, and then a trend continuation here towards this lower target area. Because according to this rising wedge, not the falling wedge, but the rising wedge, the target here is around 18,000. And also according to this Adam Eve or double top pattern, the target is still around this 18,000, right? You can see around this area. So we know this 18,000 are being flashed with this Adam Eve and rising wedge. But in our case, what I want you guys to understand, even though this is a bearish scenario, I personally think the price of Bitcoin is going to show a movement here in this manner, even a small pullback, consolidation in this manner, and then breaking here towards this CPI area before choosing a trend direction. So this is what I personally think the price of Bitcoin could be doing here in the medium short term if we do manage to stay above this 19,000 price area. And not just only this, if you are aware, we have also talked about this descending channel. Each and every time the price of Bitcoin has tested the support from the lower line area, what has happened? We have seen a very nice impulsive movement type of scenario. But in our case, it's changing. The price did came at the lower line area, also showed some bullishness, but now we are again seeing this retracement. As I just showed you with this previous example, Adam Eve rising wedge, this is clearly showing a movement here towards this lower line area, right? But please be careful, guys. Once the price manages to come across this 20,000, what I personally believe is the price here is going to see a very nice movement where we could be getting gravitated again towards the top of this channel, because the top of the channel was only the area which gave us a sell signal, because you can see each and every time the price of Bitcoin tested the upper line area, after that we got a rejection. So if we manage to come across the 20,000, could be also testing the upper line area of the descending channel, and only after that decide what to do next, because this upper line area is between 24,000. We know this is exactly where the CPI line is. So maybe if we are lucky, the price of Bitcoin is going to come across the CPI line and then decide what to do next. So that's why, guys, doesn't matter how you look at the price action of Bitcoin. Right now, we are clearly showing this weakness. But even though this is a clear sign of weakness, the price of Bitcoin could do unexpected. I mean, show this bullishness here in the medium short term between this 21,500 to 24,000 before showing any sort of a price movement. The reason why it would make a lot of sense to see a price retracement around this 21,000 to 24,000 is because if we look at this in a weekly time frame. Before I switch into other chart, I just want to make you aware we have up to $5,150 crypto exchange bonus available for you in the description down below. PHEMEX is giving around $4,100 bonus after your initial deposit, and BYBIT around $1,050 bonus. So if you are an experienced trader, if you want to take advantage of this market volatility, the link is provided in the description down below, so feel free to check it out. Now let's switch the chart, because if we look at this in a weekly time frame, if we do see this retracement again around this 21,000 to 24,000, then we are also going to be retesting this important moving average, because we have seen, guys, in the past price action, this 200 weekly SMA has always been a important line of support. Each and every time the price of Bitcoin has tested the support around this 200 weekly moving average after failing to hold this 50 weekly SMA, then a very nice relief rally. Here we went lower, but at the end the price somehow managed to find support above this 200 weekly SMA and then continue this new rally. But in our case, you can see the price has clearly broken below it. So what I personally believe, if this is going to be a relief rally, then this relief rally should come across this 200 weekly SMA before choosing a trend duration. Why? Because this line, which has been one of the strongest line of support, has not been retested. Even if it's going to be acting as a resistance, what I personally believe is the price of Bitcoin here in the medium short term could show consolidation and even a movement towards this 200 weekly SMA, right? Even if this is going to be a rejection, as I've been very clear, this line could be retested. A line which previously acted as a support could be acting as a resistance. Even though we are aware of that, we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to see this movement between this 21,000 to 24,000 range before choosing a trend direction. So these are some of the quick updates that I wanted to share with you in today's video. If you enjoyed my work, then do destroy the like button. And for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now, by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye-bye.